Hello, this is Dana Arcuri from danaarcuri.com, author, speaker, trauma recovery coach, and I am so happy to see you today via YouTube. And so I am going to tackle a new topic, and this is in regards to how to starve a malignant narcissist and reclaim your own sanity. And so for 3 years now, I've been sharing a lot of credible content on my YouTube channel. And so many of you have shared your own stories. Most of them are heartbreaking stories of narcissistic abuse, of childhood trauma, of being bullied and manipulated and hoovered. And you have been through hell and back over a narcissist and or flying monkeys. And so number one, know that you're not alone. You're here at a very safe space. My YouTube channel is to build awareness, to advocate, to educate, and to reach out to support those who are abuse and trauma survivors. And so let's start with this topic. Have you been dealing with a malignant narcissist? Are you a survivor of narcissistic abuse? Have you tried finding ways to try to get free from the narcissist, but they just keep on provoking you, baiting you, contacting you, sending you vicious, hostile messages and emails, etc., etc.? If so, know that, hey, there are so many of us who are going through similar situations, and we together are learning that there are some real helpful tools and strategies to kind of simmer down that fuel that the narcissist is just trying to extend. They're trying to really suck the life out of us. They're trying to discredit us. They're trying to blame us and silence us and censor us. And so understand that you can take back your power when and if you choose to upgrade, amp up those healthy boundaries, and understand that there's a lot of different things that you can do. And this is a great way to starve the narcissist of their narcissistic supply. So let's start with defining what is narcissistic personality disorder. So according to MayoClinic.com, quote unquote, narcissistic personality disorder, one of several types of personality disorders, is a mental condition in which people have an inflated sense of their own importance, a deep need for excessive attention and admiration, troubled relationships, and a lack of empathy for others. But behind the mask of extreme confidence lies a fragile self-esteem that's vulnerable to the slightest criticism. A narcissistic personality disorder causes problems in many areas of life, such as relationships, work, school, or financial affairs. People with narcissistic personality disorder may be generally unhappy and disappointed when they are not given the special favors or admiration they believe they deserve. They may find their relationships unfulfilling, and others may not enjoy being around them. Wow. So that was a mouthful, a big definition that I found on the Mayo Clinic website, but boy, oh boy, does that really sum it up. Okay, so pretty much they're saying that the narcissistic personality disorder is an inflated sense of their own importance. So I always use the word ego and egotistical. So oftentimes people who do have these traits of a narcissist, and keep in mind, I really believe most of these people were never even diagnosed officially. They don't want diagnosed. Even if they were diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder or some other personality disorder, they're going to deny it just like they deny you in your own reality. So technically, we don't even need a diagnosis to understand the covert schemes and all the little tactics they use. Very clever people. I give them credit for how clever they are. However, eventually we do see through their smokescreen. And that is why I have educational videos, so I can help you see through the smokescreen and all the crazy making, so you can clearly understand the person you're dealing with. Yes, they're a narcissist. Yes, they're quite miserable. And yes, they have an inflated ego, and they want to receive all attention as if they're some god or goddess. So let's move on and talk about words that can define and really simplify the core traits of a covert narcissist. So here's some words that sum up exactly what a narcissist is. They are domineering. They are cocky. They are demanding. They are hostile people. They are very bitter. They're hateful, spiteful, and vengeful. And they're outright cruel. I mean, absolutely to the core, they are so vicious. They are so evil. Next is that they're control freaks who are pretty much on a power trip on a daily basis. So pretty much 24/7 around the clock, you're going to notice that this covert narcissist is trying to control you, control your children, control your grandchildren, even your pets. I mean, we're talking control your marriage, control how you live, what you do, how you work, and how you go about your day-to-day activities. And so that is a sign of a narcissist. Next is the best way to starve a narcissist is to stop giving them an emotional reaction to their nasty words, actions, and behaviors. Do you understand that they are going to bait you and provoke you? They are going to gaslight you and say the most ugliest, cruelest, unforgiving things to you. And they are doing this because they want you to freak out, to flip out. They want you crying. They want you screaming. They want you to feel helpless and powerless. Most narcs are on a power trip, and they crave incredible amounts of attention. They want to be the center of attention 24/7. And if they don't get it, look out, because they're going to somehow lash out at you, even though it has nothing to do with you. So if the narcissist does not receive this admiration to boost their ego, if they don't get loyalty from you or have your non-stop attention, they will have a 2-year-old temper tantrum that I call a hissy fit. They're going to have a meltdown and start freaking out, screaming, swearing, and they're going to use you as a target because they're furious and they want to hurt you. Narcissistic people want others to be enthralled by them so that they could feed off the attention and reverence. So they really do have such a ginormous ego. You'd think they're like some powerful person, like the president, like a famous musician or actress or actor. I mean, this is their mindset, that whoever they are, they want you to bow down to them and treat them like a king or queen. Next is that once their phony act has worn thin and their little false mask slips off their face, you can start to see who the narcissist really is. You could see through their smokescreen and all the crazy BS that they fabricate to try to puff themselves up while they bring you down. So they are an emotional vampire who wants to suck the joy, the peace, the life, and all positive energy out of you. Now, we're going to now move into how to starve the narcissist. Let me put on my glasses so I could see my notes. So here we go. Number 1, how to starve a narcissist. Do not participate in their drama. Now, there's going to be a lot that's going to go on behind closed doors. There's going to be gossiping. There's going to be retaliation, smear campaigns. They're going to discredit you, and they're going to triangulate every one of your relationships. And so beware that this is their drama that they're creating, and the best way to starve a narcissist is to not participate. Number 2, do not give them an emotional reaction. Again, they want you to overreact. They want you in tears. They want you so mad and upset, and they prefer that you put on a show, because what they want to do is, if you start cussing and yelling at them, or explaining yourself to them, or defending yourself to them, they're going to turn around and say, I told you she's crazy, or I told you he's insane. So you don't want to feed into this. Don't give an emotional reaction. Don't respond at all. Next, number 3, how to starve a narcissist. Set your healthy boundaries and don't ever back down. So you will have to, on a daily basis, maintain those clear personal boundaries of yours. Your boundaries are like an invisible fence around you. They are there to protect you. Your boundaries really are not about anyone else. Your boundaries are about you, your safety, your emotional wellness, your sanity, your peace of mind, and a higher quality of life for you, especially with your relationships. Next is how to starve a narcissist. Keep all interactions brief and limited. Next, if he or she, meaning the narc, manipulates you or blames you for something, which this is their go-to. They do this all the time. The whole blame shifting, the whole mind games. So walk away. Do not participate. Next, the narcissist will love to provoke you because they want you angry, they want you outraged, and they want you to freak out. So the best thing is, don't argue with them. Just don't respond. Don't engage. Walk away. Next. Now, this is part of the Jade technique. So some of what I'm sharing is to do with Jade. J, don't justify yourself. A, don't argue with a narcissist. And on it goes. So understand that a part of what I'm sharing here in these tips is part of the Jade technique. Jade is an acronym. So we're on the part on do not explain yourself. So it's really a waste of your time, breath, and energy to try to explain yourself to a narcissist and even the flying monkeys, because they will continually discredit you. They will take a little tiny truth and turn it into a big fat lie. And they are pathological liars. So deception is something that they continually do. They deceive people. They deny your own reality. And it's very, very dysfunctional and unhealthy. Next is do not justify yourself. So again, it's a waste of energy. Do not engage. If they provoke you, don't take their bait and just ignore them. Like if that means you have to not text back a response, then you don't. If that means you don't send them a message back, if they sent you a text message, if they left you a phone call message, if they left you a message on Facebook, if they communicated with you in any way in which they are provoking you and you know it's intentional and you know it is just hogwash, it's not even true what they're talking about, the best bet is to just ignore them. Don't even respond. Another real important aspect of how to starve a narcissist And this is especially in the initial stages of educating yourself, building awareness about what is narcissistic personality disorder, what are the traits, what should I look out for, and what do I need to do so I'm not going insane with this toxic person. So what's really important is to consider researching gray rock. So gray rock is simply reducing your engagement with the narcissist. So it's very brief, it's very minimal. You pretty much need to have no emotions whatsoever. So try to keep a serious face, have no emotional reaction, and don't feed into their baloney and all the craziness that they're fabricating, these stories about you, your family, or other people. And remember now, sometimes they like to gossip to you about the flying monkeys. And what they want to do is they want to take everything that you say about the flying monkeys, and they're going to pick up the phone and call the flying monkeys and tell them, oh, did you hear what they said about you? Oh, she or he said ... Oh, my mother did this. Oh my goodness. This was something that I had to reach a place where I had to understand that I could no longer talk to her about anything. I mean, I am talking, things were so dysfunctional with her and unhealthy that it was at a point back in 2018 when she would gossip and say really cruel things about my sisters, their children, their husbands, etc., etc. She just was doing this, number one, because she loved to gossip. So narcissistic people crave stir in the pot. So they're going to stir the pot, stir the pot, stir the pot, and then step back, and then they're just going to watch things explode. This is what they love, they crave, they thrive on, because it's part of narcissistic supply. So if you are still in contact with a narcissist and or flying monkeys, use caution whenever you're communicating with them. And remember, this is all forms of communication, face-to-face, online, on the phone, through a text message, through an email, through social media. Use caution, like really tread very carefully, because they're going to use everything you say against you, and they're going to fabricate it into a lot of deceiving stories, and then they're going to triangulate your relationship with the flying monkeys. So that's what their goal is. You know, when we really look at, like, what is the psychology, like, what are they really trying to do? Oh, they're trying to destroy your relationships with everyone. They want to discredit you. They want to hurt you so badly and destroy your reputation. And so they're going to gossip about you to everyone. But they're also going to, with you, say you're on the phone with them, they're going to gossip about the flying monkeys. They're going to complain, whether it's talking about their own children, talking about their own spouse, talking about their neighbors, talking about their relatives, talking about the person who lives across the street. It doesn't matter who they're talking about, but what they're going to do is report back to the person who they were actually gossiping about and turn around and tell that person, did you hear what so-and-so said about you? So this is, par for the course, and this is very common with a narcissist. Next is, if you go gray rock, remember that this means very, very, very little communication. You don't need to reply to every single text message. You don't need to answer your door every time they come knocking. Let's just say you're not home. Let's just play that you're not home. Save yourself, spare yourself, people. Like, no, don't open the door. Don't pick up the phone. Do yourself a favor and amp up those boundaries. Reclaim your power, because this will improve your emotional wellness and your safety and peace of mind. Next is the next step, which is really, really crucial. And of course, this is somewhere down the line after you're fully educated on narcissistic personality disorder, all of the traits, all of the different signs of how they abuse you. you may want to go no contact. Now, what does that mean? Full-blown no contact, another word is estrangement, if it's your family members. Another word is cut the ties, clip, clip, clip for once and for all. But the point is, this person's never going to change. You can't fix them. You can never change. You change them. You can't change the narc. They don't want to change. So, this whole thing on thinking, I'll just pray harder. I'll just love them with kindness. I'll just treat them like a queen or a king, and so they'll be nice to me. No, they're not going to be nice to you. Again, all you're doing is feeding their big fat ego. Stop complimenting them. Stop admiring them. This is fuel for the fire, people. You gotta take back your control. You have to do a little thinking about reverse psychology, and you have to take care of yourself. And that means using wisdom, using discernment, and having the guts to stand up to the malignant narcissist and their flying monkeys. So when you go no contact, that means that you are no longer in a relationship with them. That means for once and for all, you are set free. They could call you all they want. Oh, they could try. Oh, they could come to your door, come knocking on your door again. Don't answer. Call 911 if you have to. If you feel unsafe, by all means, contact your local authorities. But the point is, when we are no contact, we get back in the driver's seat. When we go no contact with a narcissist, it's basically our final word. And the final word is, I'm done. Enough is enough. I will not participate in a relationship with you. And it's over. It is over. And you know what? It's a relief. It is such a relief. It is so liberating. Just a sense of, I could breathe. I could breathe. I could live again. I could be happy again. There's so much goodness and so much positivity after you start working through the very important steps of how to starve a narcissist, of how to go no contact, of how to take back your own power. There is just so much beauty in the healing journey, especially when you get to the other side. Please know that it's not your fault if you have suffered narcissistic abuse or any form of bullying, manipulation, gaslighting, etc., etc. Focus on your own life, your own dreams, your own happiness, your own future. Be productive. Sometimes the best payback, it's not revenge. Your happiness, your peace of mind, your success, your living your dreams and making accomplishments in life. This is the great revenge because they don't want you happy. And so when you are happy, that, my friend, means you won. Next is that you are not responsible for the flying monkeys nor the narcissist. So it is not your place to try to change them, to fix them. It's not up to you. And that is why sometimes the most kindest act of self-love and self-care is to just bless and release. Just release them. Adios. Bye-bye. Next is that the only one you are responsible for is yourself. It's for your own healing recovery journey. So when you walk away from these toxic dynamics, you will successfully starve the malignant narcissist. Give yourself time to heal. Give yourself as much time and patience and tender loving care so you can process everything that you have been through, especially if you are the adult child of a narcissistic parent or sibling, because that means that you've probably dealt an entire lifetime with being bullied, manipulated, and abused and silenced. And there's so much else that you have gone through. So it really does take time to put all the pieces together and to process what you've been through. Give yourself safe space to work through your narcissistic abuse recovery. It's not a marathon. Take one day at a time, take one step at a time. Focus on what can you do? How can you practice self-care? How can you live your life so you have more emotional stability and happiness and peace? Because that's what it's all about, is really focusing on ourselves and taking accountability for our own lives and increasing our quality of life. So whether you are in the early stages of going gray rock with a narcissist and or flying monkeys, or you have already cut the ties and you went no contact and you are set free, understand that you are eventually going to be free from the narcissist if you do end this relationship, if you do walk away. It is something that is personal. It's something that everyone's situation is very unique. So my circumstances, what I went through, say with my narcissistic mother and my toxic siblings, aka flying monkeys, my situation may have been very different than your situation, but still we may have a lot of similarities. So understand that there's so much to learn. It's valuable wisdom that can strengthen you, especially after you go no contact. And so I want to just end with this. If you are gray rock or if you are no contact, bravo, bravo, standing ovation. Well done, 2 thumbs up. You're on